From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Eric's forecast.
Today was definitely one of those typical South Louisiana days when we had an upper level low right along the Gulf Coast, just producing pretty much nonstop rain throughout much of the morning and into the afternoon. We finally got a let up this evening, allowing things to dry out, but not before we saw some record rainfalls across portions of Acadiana, and that includes down in New Iberia, where they saw more than 5 inches of rain with this morning and afternoon event, and that's just on the lower end. We had some higher amounts. I'll show you that coming up in just a little bit. Taking a look across the big picture, we can kind of see what we got setting up. The upper level low that we had that brought all the rain is now pushing off to the east, moving into the Panhandle and up towards Alabama, where some of the heavier rains are now moving. Also some light rain back through Mississippi, and we see a lot of that rain now pushing off the Gulf Coast. We also have a cold front that's producing showers back through the Midwest and pushing into the Mid-Atlantic and up into the Northeast as well this evening, and that is causing some problems for them as it's hindering the January thaw, with all those rivers beginning to now come on ice, and is causing a lot of problems up there. But that front extends back down here, and that's what's keeping the clouds with us. It won't be until tomorrow afternoon that we see those clouds finally begin to thin out. Starting to see a little bit of a drying trend over the last several hours, but you can see earlier today we had plenty of rain make its way through Acadiana with the heavier shades, so some moderate to heavy rains, especially early this morning between 7 and 8 o'clock down around the Gulf Coast from Vermilion over to Iberia, where they saw some rainfall rates up to 1 inch per hour. That's what caused a lot of that flooding earlier this morning, but thankfully we're beginning to see things improve now as we push into the evening. The only area that we're still seeing some showers is down in St. Mary Parish. As you can see, a few scattered showers continuing to make their way into Morgan City, but I expect most of this activity to finally come to an end here within the next hour or so. I would say by midnight, where everyone's beginning to see drier conditions make their way in across the area. We'll just be dealing with the clouds and the possibility for some fog a little bit later. Rainfall totals for today, pretty impressive. Just about everyone saw 2 to 3 inches of rain. You can see here in Lafayette right at the 2-inch mark, 2.3 up towards the Eunice area, 2.9 over towards Welsh Jennings, and even farther over to the west as well. They saw some higher amounts, but you can see the big winners was this stretch right through here from about Abbeville over to St. Martinville, anywhere from 4 to 7 inches of rain, with that nearly 5 inches falling in New Iberia, which caused widespread flooding in many of these communities. But you can see the big winner was just south of Abbeville, where they got over 7 inches of rain with this morning's and afternoon's event, and it is going to take a little bit for that to dry out, but the good news is it does look like drier weather ahead. With all that rain on the ground, that's going to lead to patchy to dense fog through the overnight hours. This is around 3 a.m. That's when it's going to be the thickest. Winds will then start to pick up a little bit by daybreak, so you can see maybe pushing a little bit offshore, but still visibility is right around a mile. So if you have some early morning activities, just make sure, keep that in mind, but things should be clearing out rather quickly throughout the afternoon. So for this evening, the clouds stick with us, keeping us on the mild side. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, so a great looking night. Then tomorrow afternoon, that front begins to make its way through. So clouds most of the day, maybe by afternoon, starting to see a little bit of that clearing. So just a little bit of sun late in the day, otherwise staying on the cloudy side, then turning cooler moving into the new work week by Monday morning under those clear skies and calm winds. Temperatures dropping down into the lower 40s, so you'll need the heavier jackets as we head back to work come Monday morning. But thanks with plenty of sunshine Monday afternoon, things do warm up rather nicely as we're making our way back into the low to mid 60s. So here we go through the rest of this evening. Temperatures holding pretty steady. We'll maybe only drop a couple more degrees down around 57, 56 for the overnight low. Mostly cloudy, but we will maybe see a few peaks of sun late, and with those clouds, we only see those temperatures warm a couple of degrees as we'll only make our way into the low 60s for afternoon highs tomorrow. Then starting to really get cool come Monday morning, temperatures falling into the lower 40s. Monday afternoon, though, we do make our way back into the low 60s with plenty of sunshine. So a mild night with the patchy fog mist through the overnight hours, maybe a stray shower, especially closer to the Gulf Coast. 56 for the overnight low. Morning clouds to start off our Sunday, but I think by 3, 4 o'clock we start to see a few peaks of afternoon sunshine. It will also be a tad breezy, winds out of the north, 10 to 15. That will help with some of the drying tomorrow as we add a little bit of that motion at the ground, helping to exacerbate the evaporation. Plenty of sunshine to start off the work week. Some clouds building in by Wednesday. Rain chances returning as we move into Thursday and Friday, with our next cold front coming through late Thursday and the early Friday morning. A little bit of a break on Saturday, but then another system arrives late Saturday into Sunday. So a little bit of an unsettled pattern moving into next weekend, but it doesn't look like it's going to be nearly the amount of rain we saw this week. Just kind of your back to some passing showers each afternoon.
Okay, thanks, Eric.